Hey my friends, I appreciate you stopping in to the only game reviewer where the score doesn't matter. You heard that right? The score means absolutely nothing. Just like any cast member on The Walking Dead. No, seriously guys, you should probably prepare for the future because you could go at any moment. It don't matter how long you've been there. But you guys sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy this installment of Gracious Judgment, Xenoverse 2 style. Alright, let's get right into this. I am a humongous Dragon Ball Z fan, and I actually did like the first game. It did get a little boring at times, but I still liked it. The combat's fun. It's Dragon Ball Z, you're there to fight. But this is Xenoverse 2, so let's try to see if they can top the predecessor. First thing we're going to get into is character creation. There's no cooler feeling, or at least there shouldn't be, about going into this character creator and creating your very own Z fighter. You're resembling this as you. You are this big hulk of a man that can shoot beams out of his hands or punch someone through a rock. That is awesome. But the character creator, though not bad, there's enough options for it to be average or mediocre. But it's the same character creator as the first one. There's not really many more options. It's like they just said, well, this is enough. Let's throw it into the new game and maybe add one or two more faces for each race and call it a day.
And here we got the races, the Boos, Earthlings, Saiyan, the Namekian, Frieza race. It's all the same ones that we had before. You know, they didn't really add anything on that part. But then here, again, really, it's the same customization like I just said earlier. You know, height, weight, head. Like, it's not a bad customization. It just, nothing else was added. Just like I said, a couple faces. That's really it. We'll go ahead and scroll through them here. I remember all these. I had the little fish fin for my guy in Xenoverse 1. It's all the same. Now that might be a little different. I don't know if I remember the glowing head or the face actually. I mean, you can make them look cool, but it's just, man, it didn't seem like there was much effort put into it.
And then right before I started making my character, I realized, holy crap, I can upload my previous character from the first game, which is cool. I like that. I thought it was a good option. But then when I realized that you keep the gear and the skills, I thought, holy crap, that's extremely overpowered, because I could start the game with 5-star gear and all my, Final Flash, Big Bang Attack, Gatling Gun, Vegeta fan here, pretty obvious. But still, I could start the game with all that, just be at level 1. So to me that felt extremely overpowered if you were wanting to do rank matches right off the bat. Now yeah, you can do the matches where the gear doesn't matter, but to me that just felt a little crazy. I even kept all my money. I had tens of thousands just rolled over. Just easy mode, honestly.
Ah, awesome. There he is. He can get his own hologram.
But one thing with loading your character over, your old character from the first game is actually included in the story. So that to me was a job well done story-wise. And we're going to get into the story later because I do have a lot to say about that. But the fact that your old character was introduced into the story and you've seen him quite a few times, to me, good job.
What? No way.
That's enough for now.
That's awesome. He's in the story.
Hurry after him!
Now I give this dev team props for making good, quality, and proper tutorials, showing us how to fight as a Z fighter, showing us combos, throwing, anything you need to know, it's there for you to learn. That is a job well done. But when I went into these tutorials, I found out how frustrating the combat can be at times. Because I would press buttons, even though I pressed them, 2 sequences before, it went off fine. And then that sequence, then a punch, a kick, and then try to do the same sequence as I did, and it wouldn't go off. It would just shoot a Kai Blast even though I pressed the same freaking button. Or the heavy attack would not have went off in time for me to pull off the next move, which was required, but my opponent would reset, so I would lose all the progression that I had. It got extremely frustrating there, almost like they didn't test it themselves. I mean, maybe they did, I'm not going to say they didn't, but it feels like it wasn't, or just maybe they didn't have time to fix it. I mean, yeah, I beat that part of the tutorial, but it shouldn't have taken me 20 to 25 tries simply because my heavy attack was so slow that I couldn't get the other one off enough before the opponent reset. It became very frustrating. Some of them I didn't even beat.
Well, alright. Let's do this. Seems kind of simple. Clicking the two buttons might be difficult.
Give it a whirl.
Oh, no, I clicked you. I know I did. Garbage. Yeah, I'm getting that first one off just fine, but I don't want to hit the second one right there. It just shoots the blast. There we go. Oh! We're gonna get it this time. There we go.
You're a natural, kid.
Nice. Now I just want to slip this in here real quick about the UI. I actually liked it. I like how they keep you immersed into the game. You know, you're just typing on that computer screen and this is supposedly what you're seeing. Yeah, it doesn't really take you out of the game itself. You still feel like, I guess it's just fluid. And it's easy to navigate and to get where you need to go. It's very self-explanatory. They did a good job here.
Now, Xenoverse 2 kept the outfits just like it had in its predecessor, but to me those outfits can be very frustrating because some of them look so cool, but they don't fit my playstyle whatsoever, or the build that I have for my character. Maybe make them more cosmetic, because where this is more of a fighting game, we just want to look really cool while doing it. So just allow us to choose what we want to wear and buy it, or even get it through an achievement. But don't make the stats so that we can't use something we really like, you know, the way it looks.
Alright, picked up our new Frieza armor here. And it is better. It's 3 stars, gives basic attack, which is what I'm really going for. Yeah, let's put that on. That's better than just 1 stamina per piece. My stuff looks so cool though, I don't want to change it. I look like an idiot.
Now, the dev team actually did give us a way to try to get around that, but I don't know if they really just dove all in on it. Because you can only combine 2 pieces of gear. Combine 2 pieces of gear in this combiner, and you get the same stats as those 2 pieces of gear. Well, there's still 2 other pieces of gear to get stats from, but if you use the combiner item, you can only use that, and all the cosmetic items that have the stats on them are negated. The only thing that's left is your soul that you use. So that's a way that you can kind of get around if you want to use this piece of armor, but to me it just fell short because it didn't combine all 4 items.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and combine my Frieza Force gear that I got just to give you guys an example of how it works. But you can also add capsules to try to get some extra stats in there, make the suit a little more powerful. But right there, see what I'm talking about? Those stats right there are supposed to replace all 4 of your gear slots. And you know, if I put all 4 of those gear slots together, that ends up being 12 attack total, but this is just 4.
Now we still have a lot of game modes we can play in this game. We got some of the old that was in the first game, and then we got some new ones too. That was a little bit of breath of fresh air, considering a lot of this game feels exactly like the first one. First thing is just your online battles. It's your standard 1 vs 1, 2 vs 2, 3 vs 3. You can do it online or not online. You can do rank matches, which is going to include all the stats from your gear, capsules, everything. And then you can do unranked matches and still, well, you can still do unranked matches the same way as the ranked, But as an unranked, you have the option of going in as an equal, not counting any gear, like all the stats are the same.
Oh man. Oh crap. Oh. Good fight, brother. Daggone it.
And then we come to the parallel quests, which I like the idea. I like the idea of just being able to choose some friends or just random people getting paired with and going out and doing these things and trying to beat the objectives and get as high a score as we can. But I loved them on the first one. The second one, not so much. And the reason is, I felt like 3/4 of them were exactly the same quests as the first game. Like you just hit copy and paste in the code and said, here you go, guys. I didn't get it. It felt like the same game, and I'm going to repeat this over and over. This game felt the same as the first one, and a lot of the parallel quests were the same.
What an attack! That was close. I thought it was done for. Just watch. I'm not going down without a fight.
And then we come to the expert quests. These I liked. They're supposed to be more challenging, and they allow 6 people to fight. I don't believe these were in the first one. Granted, I only played the first one for about a week or two, but I never ran into them. But here, I enjoyed this part of it. It added more challenge and fun to the game, so props to you on that regard.
I'll massacre you! Die!
This next attack's gonna be huge. Catch it and send it right back where it came from. Wow. Very nice movement. Looks like that really stuck.
And then one of the funny things I thought, you added some side missions where you go up into these little capsules, like where they were ripped out from in a rift in time, and you place them in these little bubbles. And you can go to like Boo's house, Capsule Court, man, what was the other one? I don't even remember no more. But it was funny because I went to Boo's house and this dude just starts wanting to make a baby. And I'm like, what on earth are you talking about, little guy? It gave me a pretty good laugh.
Alright. It's time to join Frieza's army. And why does this seem really familiar? This was a fight in the first game, wasn't it? I remember this. Come on, guys. There's no need to rehash this content. Like, there's other stuff you can do with it. I don't know. Might as well have just made an expansion sometimes, I feel, for this game instead of a whole new game.
Now the performance in this game, I found to actually be okay. Now I'm from Ohio and this may be based on region, but I never had any disconnects, any trouble loading my characters like I did on the first one. My first game I couldn't load my character in for the first 4 days. I couldn't play the game. This time around, I could. So to me it was better. But I have talked to some people in some chat channels and forums where they are having actual issues with all these things. Just playing the game in general. So it is there, didn't happen to me personally, but I felt obligated that I needed to tell you that. So it's up to you what you do with it. And one of the things I did find a little frustrating with the online game world is that they limit you to 3 hours of being in the online HUD world where you can interact with people, check them out, see what they're doing build-wise, gear-wise, whatever. They limit you to 3 hours and then they kick you out. They don't give a crap. I don't know if they did that because of server stability or what, but I don't even know how long you have to wait before you have to get back in. I just didn't even care. I didn't even try. I just kept on playing. I said, whatever, it's your choice, it is what it is. But me personally, I like seeing everybody running around. But then another thing I want to get into is the voice acting in this game. It was too over the top, man. It was too silly. It was pretty much all being silly. And yeah, DBZ has its silly moments, you know. The perverts, the whatever. I mean, they got some funny moments in the series and where they can joke around, but when it gets serious, and I didn't really feel that with this game. It didn't feel serious at all, really. And just some of the things that were said, I couldn't help but laugh. Like, I feel like it was supposed to be serious, but I couldn't really take it serious.
Dodoria. Zarbon, show me your power.
Raise those legs, man, as lofty as Lord Frieza's glory!
Now, I don't want to just completely rag on the dev team, because there was little glimpses of hope here, and this cutscene was one of them. Like, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it, and there's even some cutscenes that are actually part of the show, but they just, in a sense, rehashed it and improved it graphically. So, not 100% silly. That may have been implied with what I was saying before, but a lot of it is still.
Times 4!
And the visuals in this game weren't really improved. They're just about the same, and you even have some blurry and jagged edges. I don't know if that's just the artwork of Dragon Ball Z. I mean, I think you could make it look better and smoother than the cartoon. I don't think it needs to look exactly the same. I mean, maybe that's what they were going for. But the visuals are not that impressive, but it does look like Dragon Ball Z, I guess. But something I really want to get into, and this is really the last thing I really majorly want to get into, is the story. To me, this was the biggest disappointment. I honestly felt the first half of the game that I was playing Xenoverse 1. I actually felt like I was playing the same battles, just like I did with the parallel quests, trying to join the Frieza Force in his spaceship. I felt like a lot of these were the exact same fights in the exact same way. Even in the Cell Saga part of the story, you fight just a crap ton of Cell Juniors while you're trying to prevent some bad guy from doing something to change time. Yeah, you're still a time patroller. I mean, that's okay, but at least do something different with it. It's the same two bad guys. Apparently you just, I don't know. They're just all powerful, could do what they want. It's the same two bad guys screwing up history. I mean, toward the end it got different, but literally the first half felt like the same game. Raditz, Cell, Boo, it's all the same. I don't even know if you tried to go in and change up what was changed about the story. It felt like the exact same thing. And it broke my heart, man, because I love this series. I love Dragon Ball Z. I remember getting home after school, doing my homework. Actually, no, I didn't do homework. Getting home from school, watching Highlander, then going on to Toonami, Yu Yu Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin, and Dragon Ball Z. I went home and watched them all. I look forward to it. So I love this series. Please don't misunderstand my discontent for just being a hater. I love this series, but it didn't feel like much effort was put into this game. Now, I don't know if there was. Maybe there was and just something happened and they're like, screw it, we'll just put it in here. I don't know. But the story, it felt exactly the same. I don't know how many times I have to say that, but it was so frustrating. And like I said, in the second half of the story, it does change up a little bit, and it ends up getting better. but if you can get through the first part, you're fine. But actually, you know what? No. There is one thing you did that ticked me off. You made a grind just when you're about to finish the story. You throw this stupid little quest in there where you gotta add 15 TP medals for no freaking reason, just other than to extend the story that you're kind of already tired playing in the first place. I don't want to be mean, but I feel insulted. You know, I'm not trying to hate on you. I don't want you to get upset for watching this if you're one of the developers, but don't extend stories over stupid little grinds. I mean, if you have to extend the story with things like that, there's no point in the story to begin with. Don't do that. Just let us play the story. If you want to put grinds in, let it put them in extras, not the main actual story. Just let us play through it. Let us enjoy it. Oh, man. And then the level recommendations, just going to throw it out there, they really don't mean anything either, because I was beating the level 35 as a level 27. So, now that I'm already worked up, check out the game footage.
Well, this looks familiar. This is the exact same map from the first game. And we're fighting Cell Genius. And then we'll go on to fight Cell. Exact same thing. It's only changed up a tad bit when you fight Cooler here in a second. I don't know. I just don't want to hate on this game. It just breaks my heart, man, because I love the DBZ series so much. I do know what those are. Oh, you're joking. Guys, that's just lazy. That's lazy trying to just extend the story longer than it needs to be.
Now, take the knowledge that I've given you from my personal experience, go watch 2 or 3 more reviewers. Don't just do it based off my opinion. Go watch a couple more and decide for yourself. Make your own decision. I believe in you. But I just believe if it's for the story, it's not worth it because half of it is the exact same story. If you're doing it for PvP and just fighting each other and you don't care about grinding out your gear if you never had the first one, or if you even had the first one, you don't need to grind your gear no more unless you want to play a different type of character because it all transfers over. But if you're cool with just the PvP part of it, you're fine. You will probably love this game. But that leads me to having to give this game a score, which remember, they don't really matter. But we're going to go to my good friend Vegeta, see what he has to say.
It's over 9,000!
Hey, you heard it from the man himself, not me. It's his call. But if you guys have any questions about the game that I maybe didn't cover, feel free to ask down below. I'll check them out as soon as I get a chance to. And if you just so happen to want to know the next time I upload a video, feel free to hit that sub button. You know, you'll just get a notification in your email. But you take care and have a good week. We got Titanfall 2 coming up in a few days. And always remember, game with grace.